We are here. Hey, the face cam, full face cam. Listen. Today I want to talk to y'all about my experience watching survival shows. Kingdom, Queendom 2, and Island 2. I wanted to talk about Island 2 in its own video when it ended, but I forgot, so I'm gonna put it at the end of this video. I was gonna make a Kingdom video and a Queendom 2 video, but what's the point? Like, what's the point when I could just talk about it all in one video? So if you want to watch my Kingdom and Queendom 2 reactions and my Island 2 reactions, they're up on the Patreon. All the episodes of all three of those shows. I just finished Kingdom and Queendom, watched the finales last week. But I want to talk to y'all about my experience watching survival shows for those who aren't able to support the Patreon, And I have been posting some Kingdom performances and some Queendom performances. I don't know if I'm going to post all of them. We'll see. But yeah, anyways. Let's talk about it. So I'm gonna talk about Kingdom first, then Queendom 2, then Island 2. So Kingdom. Oh, how was the experience watching Kingdom? Did I like it? Did I dislike it? First of all, going into the show, well, first of all, someone told me this. They told me in the comments about when they were watching my reactions to it, and they said they like how unbiased I am and how I show love to all the groups. And they said that because when they were watching like some other reactors, they didn't put names and they didn't say it was every reactor, but with some reactors, like they were clearly biased, and they also would like hate on some groups, which I'm like, bro, what? Bro, how can you do that? Like, I can understand bias. Obviously, some of y'all who went into Kingdom when it was airing in 2021, if you were an ATINY, you're rooting for ATs, If you were a Stay, you're rooting for Stray Kids. If you were Melody, you're rooting for B2B. But to hate on other groups, though, I'm never gonna understand the hate on other groups. But hey, it is what it is. Hate is just gonna exist in this world. But to see other reactors doing it, I was kind of disappointed in like other reactors. Now I don't know those reactors who are doing it, but anyways, I came into the show knowing ATs and Stray Kids really, really well. If you've been following my channel, I've reacted to those two groups a lot. B2B, oh no, I'm saying The Boys and Icon, I reacted to a decent amount of their songs. And then, but I still wasn't familiar with all the members of both groups. Still very new to both groups. I probably reacted to 6 The Boys songs and 5 Icon songs. So around there, I don't know the number for sure. So wasn't familiar or super familiar with those two groups. And then SF9, who I did know of, but I didn't really react to any of their songs, only one of them. And then B2B, who I did not react to at all. Okay, so I didn't go into the show knowing all the groups, and I wanted to go in with more of an unbiased opinion or unbiased mindset, because obviously I could have went in like, yo, I want ATs and Stray Kids to win because I love them. But I wanted to go in with the mindset of, okay, I want to see these other 4 groups prove to me why I should like them, why I should fall in love with them, instead of just, yo, these groups did good, but Stray Kids and ATs though, they're my boys, so I'm gonna pick them. So I went in, and hey, from the beginning to the end, these 4 groups that I wasn't familiar with just went up and up and up and up. Seeing the behind the scenes of them practicing and them having fun together, whether it's with the groups themselves or the unit battles where they were like, different members of different groups working together, that whole track and field type day thing where they were doing events and stuff, them working together and stuff like that was cool. I fell in love with the other 4 groups, bro. I fell in love with the other 4 groups, and again, I went in with an unbiased mindset, because with the introduction stage, I'm pretty sure I picked The Boys first, right? So that already was like, because obviously I could have picked ATs or Stray Kids, but I picked The Boys first. I was going based off who had the better performances, okay? I took off the unbiased glasses, or the biased glasses. And as I kept going, falling in love with the groups more and more and more and more, I was doing my own personal rankings. So I did obviously care about how the rankings turned out, because obviously, I want to see who wins. But I was going by my personal ranking, and my rankings were like all over the place. There would be like, hey, sometimes Stray Kids would be in the top 3, sometimes they'll be in the bottom 3, sometimes ATs top 3, sometimes bottom 3. B2B was always top 3, I think, for me, except one maybe. No, they were always top 3 for me, I'm pretty sure. But SF9, I had them first at one point. Like I was all these groups are doing so amazing, and I fell in love with all of them. And to me personally, I felt like all the groups like deserve to win. Like it was so hard for me to rank these performances. But overall, great experience watching the show, even years later. Yeah, it's just fun. You know what I'm saying? It's such a fun idea for a show, and I like it. I do have one complaint. Okay, one complaint which I didn't have before I started watching Queendom 2 and Kingdom at the same time. I was watching Kingdom. I watched like the first 4 episodes, and then I started Queendom 2, so I started watching both shows alongside each other. And seeing, because when I was first watching Kingdom, seeing the humbleness, seeing the teams, cheering each other on was amazing. Obviously, it was super, super amazing. And I think I did say watching those first 4 episodes, I wish it was a little bit more competitive. When I watched Queendom 2, Queendom 2 had all the competitiveness that I wanted in Kingdom, okay? Queendom 2, if for those of you who might have only watched Kingdom and not watched Queendom 2, I don't know about Queendom 1 because I didn't watch it yet. I don't know how it works. Queendom 2 is leagues more competitive. I'm not gonna lie. Out the gate, before you even perform, like except for the introduction thing they did, which in Kingdom you get points for that. It was only like a opening thing for them, so you didn't get any points for it. But you had to pick a rival. Like, bro, that's so cool. Like, imagine in Kingdom, yo, yo, Bang-chan, who's y'all's rival? Hey man, I think ATEEZ is our rival. Like, yeah, that would have been so fire. Like picking rivals and stuff, and then you give your your reasoning why they're a rival, why like which group is your rival, and bro, it's so fun. And then after the performances, one of the how like there's a circle and it's like sections for what gives you the views, and fan votes is one section of points, and then like the judges is another section. One section for Queendom 2 is y'all all come together, all the groups are sitting next to each other, and y'all have to pick which group did better than you and which group did worse. And so if you pick yourself as the best, then you wouldn't pick a group above you, and you wouldn't get any points. You'll still be at 0, and then you'll pick a group who's below you, right? So let's say I'm gonna put it in Kingdom talk. So let's say Stray Kids picked B2B below them. B2B will go down to -1 point, right? And Stray Kids pick themselves as the best, then they would stay at 0, right? You don't get a point for yourself. But like if B2B said, yo, we thought Stray Kids did better than us, then Stray Kids would go up to 1. And then if someone else votes B2B as below them, B2B would go down to -2. So it just adds to the competitiveness. You could see in the groups in Queendom 2, like more like a competitive edge. Now, while in Kingdom, there were some times where they were like, each group did amazing, but we did the best. We're gonna take the crown. Like, okay, like that's cool and all, like to say that, but low key, I wanted more competitiveness. So whenever Kingdom 2 comes out, and whichever groups are on that, I want to see more competitiveness. I don't know the rules of Road to Kingdom. I didn't watch the first one. I'm definitely gonna watch the second one here, Ace to Ace. But I want a little bit more competitiveness to it, because I feel like with Kingdom, obviously it's nice to see all the groups, being nice to each other, but I need a little bit more competitiveness. It's a competition. It's a survival show. I need that. Okay, so hey, for Mnet, for Queendom, or for Kingdom 2, add some more of that Queendom 2 rules and put that onto Kingdom and expand upon it. I need competition. So overall, Kingdom, amazing experience watching it, seeing all the performances, seeing all the groups work towards their performance was amazing, and seeing all the fun moments in different groups talking to each other and stuff was fire. And I want to forget everything and rewatch it again. But yeah, so that was Kingdom. Okay, Queendom 2. Now I did just talk about Queendom 2 a little bit while talking about Kingdom, but Queendom 2 was phenomenal. It was absolutely aesthetically amazing. I like how all the performances were in front of a live audience. Obviously in Kingdom they couldn't do that because probably COVID, but I like how that was for Queendom 2. If you just skip to here, because I'm gonna put timestamps for what section you want to hear. I was talking about how Queendom 2 felt more competitive than Kingdom. with the rules of like, picking a group above you and below you, with the whole thing of picking a rival at the beginning, with even with the unit battles where depending on how y'all ranked before, if you picked a song like with Luna was they picked I don't remember which one. It was Per or Kaboom. I think it was Per. And then they got pushed out of that, and then they got pushed out of Kaboom, and they had to do the other one because they ranked last. So I like that. Wait, was it because they ranked last? I don't remember entirely. I don't remember entirely. Wait, because in the second round they ranked second, right? Oh, it was based off like all the added points, and so because they didn't have round one points, they were last. Okay, I get it now. So yeah, they kept getting pushed around, and like that was just it makes it more competitive, and I like that aspect of Queendom 2. All the groups in Queendom 2, and then including Hyolyn, really really cool. Luna and Kepler and Vives, like with all the groups there, like there were some that I was familiar with and have listened to songs to, but none of those groups are groups where I've listened to a bunch of their discography, except Vives, but like I'm including them like with also G Friend. Like I haven't, I listened to a lot of their songs too. So I would say Vives is the group that I'm most familiar with. I love all three of those girls, but the other groups I wasn't super familiar with in the sense of like I've listened to all the discography and I know all the members. I know all the members in Luna now, but at the beginning watching the show. So getting to see how those groups, had their own different obstacles, seeing them crying, seeing them at their worst, seeing them at their best. It was really, really cool. I think for me, the one thing that was like a cool storyline for me was Kepler, with like how they had the moment where that member fell off the stage, where they had the moment where the slippery feet, so they couldn't give their all. They were literally like going through it. They were a rookie group going onto this big show, doing big performances, and to see at the end on the last episode, which by the way, hey, before I say this, if you want to see my reaction, it's on the Patreon. To see them become the top performance for me in the final was like it was perfect, because again, they were struggling. They wanted to prove that they were just, they weren't just in the show because, they're from Mnet, and then they ended up having the best performance for me in the finale. So really good to see that. The other groups did amazing. I'm still bummed out Luna didn't get to perform in round one. And the fact that they were second place, even after not being able to perform and get those points, to me is crazy. Like the fact that they had a disadvantage and they still almost won. And I feel like if they did perform in round one, then they would have been a lot closer to WJSN. WJSN just had like a huge lead. It was Hyolyn, and WJSN just, riding on her back like this. And then as soon as Hyolyn kind of fell down, hey, WJSN just skyrocketed. But overall, such a great experience. And even like with the finale, because with Queendom, they just announced the winner. With the finale of Queendom 2, they had the two groups who were, first and second, and then you had to like kind of wait for them to announce who won. I love that. I love that. I love the competitiveness in Queendom 2. It's so great. Yeah, this section might be a little bit shorter than how it was in Queendom, because Queendom, with the Queendom section before, I was talking about Queendom 2 also, but yeah, overall, great experience. I really, really wonder how Queendom 2 differs from Queendom 1 and like how they improved upon Queendom 1. So when I watch Queendom 1, I guess I'm going to see that, but whenever Queendom 3 happens, I will be there. I will 100% be there. Queendom 1 was what, 2019, Queendom 2 2022, so 2025. Hey, 2025 next year, I will be there. But it was such a cool experience seeing other groups and stuff like that, and really, really enjoyable. I would say I would enjoy Queendom 2 a little bit more than Kingdom because of the competitive aspects. And yeah, hey, that's Queendom 2. Last thing I'm going to talk about is Island 2. So obviously the Queendom 2 and Kingdom were survival shows where there was already debuted groups, while Island 2 is like a debut survival show, right? Where like you have these trainees and these, contestants working to debut, competing to debut. And obviously that's a whole different experience, in my opinion, than watching Kingdom and Queendom 2. So this is my first time watching from the beginning. Well, I wasn't at the beginning. It was like episode 6, I think, that aired. So I caught up, and then I was following the episodes from then on. First time watching a show where, watching this type of show, like this Are You Next type of show, Island One type of show, where, contestants working to debut. Interesting experience. And it's so, because like all of them came out there, there was 24 girls, right? Didn't know any of them. You had like the moment where they were looking at each other's like Instagram, thinking, "Oh, this is the number one dancer. Oh, this is the this and And it was because like I had to like learn all of them, and at the end, I think I know all 24 of them now. But obviously, as it kept going, more and more got eliminated. So you started to get more familiar with those who kept going further on. But um, so at the beginning with their first performances, you could see how rough it was. Like again with the other survival shows, you have groups who are already established, already, been in the industry for a couple years. Hey, these girls haven't debuted yet. So it was rough. And then, you had the moment where you had whether you're going to island or whether you're not or you're going to the ground. And you had members like Yuju who like for her first performance got sent to the ground, right? And then when the ground did their performance, she was like kind of like the leader. Like it was kind of cool, right? Because you see all their performances and you see those who make it into Island, and so you're kind of like subconsciously paying attention more to those in Island because they're in like the they're in the good spot, while those in the ground you're paying a little bit less attention. But to see Yuju literally kind of like lead them in a sense, right? And then bring herself up to Island. That was really, really cool. The whole thing with Jiyun and Jung, I always forget how to pronounce her name. I'm pretty sure it is Jung Un. Their whole like rivalry type thing was like, bro, the whole forced rivalry of it. It wasn't forced because it was kind of like there, her kind of ignoring her and stuff, because of that whole debacle. But them kind of working together at the end was really, really cool, and coming together realizing, bro, we got to get over this to really kill our parts together. And that was cool to see. And the whole thing building up to the what's it called, the building up to the finale. Now I had my own lineup. The lineup was kind of changing throughout depending on who shined on certain performances. um and it was also an interesting experience keeping up with it while seeing others' opinions on it. Seeing others, say, "Oh, well, I think this contestant that got eliminated actually should have stayed, and this one should have got eliminated." And seeing different people's opinions on it was cool. But when it came up to that finale, right? Because seeing people get eliminated and stuff like that, obviously it was going to happen. It's sad to see people get eliminated, but those who did get eliminated, like, not like at the end, but I'm talking about, throughout the show, I could like see that, yeah, I think it's better for them to get eliminated because they do have a lot of stuff to work on. So then they can take this elimination as kind of motivation. It can demotivate them too, but as motivation to push forward. So, hey, I kept saying, like, for those who got eliminated, hey, we'll see them again. Hey, we'll see them again in the future. But when it came to that finale, seeing, different people's lineups and what they wanted and how things ended up, especially with Fuko, because a lot of people wanted Fuko. I think most people had Fuko in their lineup. And to see, because again, they only announced 6. It was only 6 members, right? So you had the whole thing where like they were announcing the members, and then they revealed the 7th member at the end, like, oh, we're gonna have a 7th member. So it was Fuko and Sebi. Well, if Sebi versus Fuko being like the end, it was tough because so many people had them two in their lineup, right? So to have one of them go, heartbreaking, especially with Fuko, with how much times she's tried to debut, right? And it just didn't happen, right? So people were sad about it and stuff like that. I was kind of sad about it also because Fuko is talented. I thought it was for sure, no doubt she was gonna debut, and to see her not debut, it was kind of sad. I really hope, because sometimes with these shows you have like the group that debuts, and then you have like another company that would take some of the girls who didn't debut and debut them. So I hope that kind of happens for her, because I feel like she should have debuted 100%. But the lineup that is there, I'm 100% happy with it. I'm 100% content with it. When they announced it, I was 100% content. The one thing was my being picked. It was kind of a surprise because Mai was in my lineup because of her mindset and how well she killed her parts that she got, right? She kept getting these like more smaller parts and made those smaller parts very important because of how well she worked on it. Cause she would get like these little parts and she would kind of like be sad about it. But then in front of her member, she'd be like, yo, you know, we're gonna kill it, we're gonna kill it, I'm gonna kill this part. And she ended up killing the part. But as we got to part two of the show, you kind of got to see Mai's flaws kind of shown more. Um, so it kind of brought her out of my lineup at the end. But her being in the lineup, I'm not even mad at it. I'm not mad at it because again, she was in my lineup. She just had struggles, right? In part two, so it kind of like brought her down a little bit. But she is 100%. You know, the visual of the group. The group needs a visual, and obviously, you know, any of them could be visuals, but people like look at Mai as like the visual of the show. And also I feel like she can definitely work on the stuff that she struggled with in part two with the nasal voice. She was literally working on it, right? Like the nasally voice she had as part two was going on, she was working on it. You could see that she works hard to fix her flaws, right? So depending on how or what concept this group is gonna go for Isna, it's gonna be interested to see. I'm pretty sure they said like they're gonna go for that Iwali, Iwali, is it Iwali? Iwali? I will always love you type concept, and I think it will fit her very well. But I want to see a little bit of improvement from her. And I think all the girls do need a little bit of improvement, but they really they look ready to debut. They look ready to debut. So I'm really, really excited to follow a group from their beginning. And yeah, bro. It was such a cool experience watching the show and seeing, you know, them working hard together and, you know, the different friendships and stuff like that. And Jimin finally debuting after the whole Are You Next thing. So her debuting, she was she was basically at like the top of like everything when it comes to like the fans voting and stuff, but hey, everyone wanted her to debut so bad, and she did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. Hey, shout out to all the girls who participated in Island 2. And I definitely want to continue watching these shows. I'm gonna watch Boys Planet. I want to watch Girls Planet too. Obviously, those shows have already happened, but it's just cool to see the experience of these contestants who having struggles and don't have their talent perfected yet. Work on it so they can work on, you know, get it to the point where they can debut, and then, you know, seeing how they are now. Like I want to see how in Hypen, you know, how Island 1 happened, and I want to see how ZB1, how that came to be, and how Kepler came to be. But yeah, listen, that's all I have to say about these shows. Really great experience. The length of the episodes was like the one problem that took me so long to watch these shows, except Island 2, because I wanted to follow a group from the beginning of the show to the end to win the debut. I wanted to be a part of that experience. But Kingdom and Queendom 2, it took a while because of the length. The length of the episodes, like when people told me to watch Kingdom, I was like, bro, these episodes are like 2 hours long. I would watch guides that would be an hour and a half, and I would split them into two because I felt like an hour and a half was like super, super long. But I guess as I got more comfortable being on camera and recording for longer lengths, I was like, you know what? Hey, the show is actually enjoyable from the beginning to the end too, because like I feel like some people who watch Kingdom or Queendom 2 after the fact, like let's say they watch it in 2022, 2023, 2024, they might have like skipped forward on some parts, parts that were boring or might have been dry. But from the first second to the last second of every episode of Kingdom, I enjoyed all of it. There was no parts where I was bored, right? So the fact that they're able to keep me, you know, watching for like, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours without getting bored, like, hey, I should have watched Kingdom sooner. Except for the finale though. The finale, I did speed up part of the ending because hey, that boy was like, oh, I'm not gonna stall for any more time. I'm gonna announce the winner, and then took 10 minutes to announce the winner, bro. Like, bro, you did stall for time. But yeah, so other than that, really, really enjoyable experience for all three shows. And yeah, I can't wait to watch more shows in the future. If you're watching this video and you know you are subscribed to the Patreon, you're wondering what's next, Voice Planet is what I want to do next 100%. I want to watch Queendom 1 also. But it's kind of hard for me to decide because Road to Kingdom is coming up. Road to Kingdom Ace to Ace. So I'm pretty because I want to do like one boy group thing and one girl group thing, right? So I want to watch Queendom. But if I do Boys Planet, which is like, all boy group stuff, and then Kingdom, Road to Kingdom Ace to Ace, that'll be like two boy group things. So I don't know. We'll see what I decide to do. But hey, listen, hopefully y'all enjoyed. For those of you who made it to the end, love you. You know what I'm saying? Take this kiss. Take it. And yeah, hey, peace.